Hey all, we're going to do our best to keep this short. We're going to do a speed run through how to create a snow heat mask, aka snow on your buildings that heap up or accumulate for Farming Simulator 25 in Blender 4.0 to 5.0 and up, hopefully, using a major overhaul to the Giants exporter that I've been working on for the last couple weeks. And thanks to Redphoenix and Fuxna for making an add-on called Delta to Vertex Color on GNU and GPL open license. I was able to integrate it right into this add-on, and I don't have to send you to get a bunch of add-ons to get this done. There is a lot in this add-on that I overhauled, and we will very briefly touch base on each thing-ish while we're working through this tutorial. If you enjoy this tutorial and video, please subscribe and hit that bell. I don't do these videos very often, so it shouldn't get too annoying. So without further ado, let's jump in. So like I said, we are going to start off with Blender 5.0 just to show you works with the newest one. I know it works back as far as 4.3.2 and it should work prior to that, but this was developed for 4.3 and newer mods. In the corner there, you can see that we had Giants Original. We're going to drag in the rework, the one that I did. That's going to cause a pop-up and let you know right here that you're not allowed to have both of them installed. Um, they are going to conflict because they're essentially the same thing, right? So we're going to hit OK. That's going to deactivate, not uninstall, but deactivate the one that we had installed from Giants. You see right there, it doesn't work. You can just hit quit when that pop up comes up. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to show you that the manual or panel isn't going to work. All right, we're back into 5.0 again here. We're going to go ahead and open the panel just to show you that it works. And we're going to use this time real quick to show you one of the new features, which is a persistent game path save. No more having to set your installation path every time you launch Blender to work on your mods. Just going to go ahead and click on that set button, click on the little fold in the corner, find your Farm Sim installation path, set it, forget it. Every time you relaunch a new session of Blender, it's going to remember it. Cool. We're going to shut that off quick. Um, let's see here. Yeah, you'll see now on the right side that it says rework, not that. Here, I'm showing you real quick that the normal stuff like your shaders and your material settings does work. We're gonna go ahead and create a mesh. Where I'm gonna go ahead and make it into like a roof. I'm gonna try and mimic the video in the French tutorial the best I can, just to kind of give you guys an idea of the differences between the two systems, and yet keep as close of a snow mask to his as I can. I obviously don't have his building, so that's not going to be shown at the end of it being on his building. But we're going to go ahead and flatten this, scale it to size as we need using our XY axis. If you guys have any questions, I know I'm not saying the buttons. Bottom corner or bottom center of the screen is the keyboard. Right there, I was just subdividing a bunch of times. We're doing that to make the curvature and everything look as cool as possible. If you're this far in, you guys should already know the basics of Blender. If you're trying to do something this advanced. So we're going to go over here and we are going to start doing our modifiers. We're going to start with a smooth. We did shade smooth first, if you didn't catch that. So we're going to start with the smooth. And by shade smooth first, I meant right click and then we hit shade smooth before we even added the modifier. All right, we're going to go ahead and apply that one. We're going to come back in and we're going to do a displace and, oh, what am I doing? I need image. I need image. There it is. So we're going to go ahead and click on the button on the far right here, bring this down. We need to drop that to clouds. What was his settings? Here. Yeah. And yeah. Okay. And yeah, that looks like his. All right. We're going to go ahead and go back to our modifier tab and apply that. Do a second smooth, different smooth, pay attention. Corrective smooth, sorry. Apply that. And then we need to go in and do a decimate. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, next we're going to move into UV mapping, so UV editing. So we're going to go ahead and show you the new part of the tool here, not new, but reworked. You have all of your lights preset in there for FS25, no longer the random buttons that who knows what. You have all of your wets. You can hit show more up to 56 of each of these, other than lights. Obviously, there's only 16 of those, but you have show more, you can go up to 56 wet, 56 dry, 56 wet with no snow, and 56 dry with no snow. And at the bottom, you can move it around one at a time individually by cell. All right, we're going to go ahead and add our vertex group here. We're going to call it snow and assign, even though it already does it. We just like to click that just to be safe. We are going to go and unwrap this as a cube projection. Yeah, I think that's what he did. Doesn't look the same, but hey, it doesn't super matter. I don't. Yeah, I swear he did cube. So, anyway. Oh, you know why? I bet you I just did on the y-axis. He did on the x-axis when he stretched. Oh well, not the end of the world. But yeah, so we're gonna scale that up just like he did in his video, and that should be it for there. Let's go back to layout. All right, this is where things are gonna start getting more different. This is where you're gonna see more features that the other video didn't have. For example, everything is going to be able to be done with the Giants exporter reworked. We're going to expand this quick so you can see the tutorials will be right there for you to click on if you need help finding these videos. Right there, you can hit show me where the button is or show me how to bake and help you through your tutorial. We're going to click that button. Unlike the original one, this one is going to generate both your basis and your delta immediately. Now we're going to go ahead and go in and edit the shape using our um, box constraint to our axis. And the reason we do this and not just scale on a z-axis is because we want that bottom to stay still. So when your snow is coming in or going away, it's not going through the bottom of your roof or coming through the top of your roof too early. So we want the bottom to stay persistent and the top to go up. Once we have it set to where we like, we want to go ahead and set the slider there or value to 0. That's going to make it so we can see the difference, but we want it set to 0 before we hit bake. Now we're going to go ahead and hit bake. It's going to say successfully done. Awesome. I know I'm going too fast. Feel free to rewind, guys. Shouldn't have to say that, but you know it. Now that we have done that, we're going to come up into the tools here. We don't have too much more to show off. Right here, you're going to notice we just need to activate, well, let's probably go add our material. This one isn't too new. Obviously, you know how to do this. We're just going to call it snow. We are going to go in and assign. Well, I want to show you the mission. Yeah. So this one has an emission auto deleter. If you forget to do the slider, don't worry about it. It'll ignore it as long as you have it checked in your export tab. And I'll show you that in a minute here. We're going to go ahead and set our shader to our snow heap shader. And we don't need any variation, anything. We're just going to hit apply and we're done with that part. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, let's go. I think it's just activating the snow heap mode. So the normal one won't let you export with it. I've seen a lot of people struggling with this. So I'm going to show you it's in two different places. You can activate it right here. It's called snow heap mode in there. It's snow heap is one word there. Oops. Snow heap mode is two words there. That's correct. And if you activate one, it auto activates the other one. If you deactivate one, it deactivates the other. It doesn't matter. It's just in two places. Just know you don't really necessarily want it on when you're exporting other things. That's why it's a defaulted to off thing. But what it does is just forces your vertex color to go through. All right, we're gonna go set our path here. I don't really want that. Let's just call it snow. Yeah, snow mask tutorial 4.0 or Blender 4.0. Or, no, what am I thinking? 5.0. We're on a 5.0. All right, so now we're just going to go ahead and hit export selected. No need for other exporters. And I have no hard feelings towards any of the other exporters out there. But yes, yeah, because we had that emission right there, that's what I want to show you. Because we have the emission on, it doesn't matter. We have the delete blank emissions there. So if it doesn't have an image attached to it, it's going to delete the emissions. So you don't have to deal with the random thing you have to go delete down by your emissive tab in your Giants editor. All right, let's get this up. Cube. Invisible. Oh no. Oh wait, no, that's right. It worked. All right, let's go ahead and go into our map, seasons, season control. And let's get down and get level with it so you can see that it's not the glitchy version that moves up and sideways where it doesn't actually get the true. It just, some people try to forcefully paint a mesh on, and that's not the correct way to do it. Yeah, they're going to start down low. See, this is what I was talking about. You want to use that box constraint so it's only coming up. You notice the bottom isn't getting any lower. It's just only coming up. It's not expanding in both directions. I'm going to just drag the slider here so you can see it a little bit clearer and smoother. All right, guys. Well, yeah, you can see the shader stuck. And right here, yeah, right there, no emissive. So ignore, even though the emissive slider wasn't drug to black is fine. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the exporter. I will have that all down in the description of where you can go grab it. Keep an eye out for updates in my GitHub. So yeah, thanks again for tuning in. We will catch you guys on the next video. Probably will be adding quite a bit more features to this, depending on what I can toy around with and come up with that I feel the official one is missing. And yeah, I just like everything in that Giants panel. Otherwise, I would use a community exporter as well and grab all the other add-ons. I feel like everything being in that single panel. I know it's not proper for Giants. You have to run legacy and all of that. But I feel it's more comfortable for me, and that's the way I like it. So that's why I don't use the community exporter, and instead I'm redeveloping this, expanding on Giants' base one. For those of you out there that are like me and just I like everything in its place, and I don't have to go search around because I'm not a Blender expert. So um, here I'm just showing you guys how the delete blank emission system worked, and if it's disabled, that your emissions will export like normal. Real quick before we get out of here, I just remembered we should probably show you guys how to reset your game installation folder in case you accidentally set it improperly, because there's no button here to do it. So you're just going to go ahead and go Edit, Preferences, Add-ons. You're going to find the Giants I3D exporter tools reworked, and then you're just going to go to the bottom of it. You're going to expand it and go to the bottom of it right here and reset it right like that. Okay. Once again, thank you everybody for tuning in and watching. If you made it this far, please hit that like, the subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. Like I said, I don't do videos very often, so they shouldn't annoy the absolute heck out of you if you don't constantly want updates on modding. All right, bye, everybody.